First, obviously, the big news today with Paul Ryan endorsing you. How important is that for you?
Look, Paul Ryan's endorsement is huge for me. It's a massive statement to people in Wisconsin and frankly across the country that you have one of the leaders of the Republican Party, one of the most well-known leaders of conservatism coming out in support of my campaign. That gives me the kind of boost I need, particularly going into primary day on Tuesday.
I know you've been asked this a lot. Is he a guy that you would consider for the other part of your ticket?
Oh, look, he's one of the top people in our Republican Party. I know that he will be considered among one of those leaders down the road. I haven't begun to think about who I'd put on my ticket. I'm not on a ticket yet myself, so I got some work to do, but surely he is one of the top leaders in the Republican Party and will be considered by anybody who becomes a nominee as such a leader.
Do you see yourself as now pivoting towards the national election as opposed to the primary at this point in time?
Well, I've been going after President Obama actually for quite a while. I think the people in my party want to see who has the background and experience to really take on President Obama and to paint a picture of opportunity in America that's quite distinct from President Obama's big government approach to this country. And for that reason, I'm going to keep talking about Barack Obama day in and day out, and I think that will serve me best even in the primary.
If you win here on Tuesday, does that, in your mind, kind of lock it up enough that it is over and you would be the presumptive nominee?
Well, I think a win here in Wisconsin would make a huge impact. There's no question this is a battleground state. We need to win Wisconsin in November to take back the White House, and the nod of the people of Wisconsin would go a long way to giving me the support I need to become the nominee and really start raising the money, building the organization, and going after President Obama, which I think is the job people want to see Republicans do.
You said this is an important state, obviously, too. A lot of problems here, or a lot of contention, I guess, between unions and the people against unions. What does that say to where you want to go in this country, specifically how it would affect Wisconsin?
Well, I think Paul Ryan is absolutely right that we have to be honest with the American people. We can't keep on spending money we don't have. We can't add obligations to the future that we know can't be paid. We've got to be telling people the truth, and I know that the governor is doing his very best to make sure people understand the truth. He's brought that forward in a way which I think is courageous. I respect him and respect the effort that he's going through and support his effort to rein in the excesses of some of the public sector unions. I think in some cases they've asked for too much and are overwhelming the capacity of a state to meet that obligation.
Is it tough to have people in your own party that you're running against in this primary kind of be somewhat vicious in their attacks, especially lately in this state? We've seen, Santorum and Gingrich make some pretty sharp remarks your way.
Well, you'd always prefer that no one attacks you, but that's the nature of a political campaign. I understand that people have become pretty tough in this process and hope we can tone it down a bit. But you know what? We get along fine. We see each other at various events. We're friendly with one another. I'm convinced that Senator Santorum, Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, and myself will all come together and unify behind our nominee and make sure we take back the White House.
How different will your campaign be from what we see now here in Wisconsin to if you do get the nomination from your party? How different will that campaign be then?
Well, if I become the nominee, you're going to see a very different level of effort across the country. I'll be going to a lot of states that now I just get to go through one after the other. Instead, it'll be a nationwide campaign. We'll be having, of course, national debates. President Obama says he's going to raise almost $1 billion. This is an unthinkable amount of money. So the size of the campaign staff, the number of events we do, the places we do them will all change. But fundamentally, what this is going to be about is two different visions for America. President Obama's government-centered vision and my vision of an opportunity society where we provide to our kids freedom and opportunity for a better future.
Last question then is, how strongly do you feel about Tuesday and what Wisconsin will do for you?
I'm very hopeful that I get a very strong send-off from the people of Wisconsin. I want to do my very best to defeat Barack Obama. I think I'm in by far the best position to do that, having spent my life not in government, but instead in the private sector, understanding how jobs come and how they go and what it takes to rekindle an economy. That's what I know, that's what I do, and that experience, I think, is what will allow me to defeat Barack Obama and return America to the principles that made us the economic powerhouse we've always been.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.